I'm gonna just think about it, then
she comes into my workroom and knocks over all of my crayons, guys.
he comes into my kitchen and makes a mess with dishes.
It's payback.
Let's get it.
So you know what package came?
Mm-hmm.
What package came?
Drill truck!
The drill truck came, and you've been so excited. You've been waiting so patiently. Noah has been so patient. Amazon package is here, and I'm gonna go get it right now.
Okay, go.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. So we searched all over. We went to where did we go first to try to find a drill truck? We went to Walmart first, and then Walmart didn't have it. So then we went to Target, and Target didn't have it. And then I searched on Amazon for a Lego drill truck, and I found that Lego doesn't really make drill trucks. I don't even know what a drill truck is, I'm not gonna lie. But then I found this generic brand. And I found it on Amazon.
And it's my drill truck.
Look at this, guys. I don't even know if you can see this. Like, what level of epicness is that on a scale of 1 to 10? Let us know in the comments. I don't even know what this thing does, but it just looks amazing. It says it's a 25-in-1 set. We're gonna build it right now, and we'll see how it turns out, okay?
So look at this drill truck. And we just out it.
So
Every week and every day.
that's pretty much what it felt like. So guys, I am so done with this thing. I mean, it was cool. It's a big truck, but there's so many little pieces. Like, I mean, you have no idea. I probably have a good hour of time into this drill truck. Like, I think everybody was done with it before it was even built. But it is pretty cool. I didn't even put on all the decals. Look, I have all these decals left over. I was just like, whatever. But the good news is it's built. It does have a lot of cool parts to it. And this goes up and down. The drills actually spin. Uh-oh, Abby's getting a little upset, guys. But listen, I don't think this is gonna be the only time this drill truck ever actually gets built, because I'm not sitting down for an hour and a half and spending that kind of time again. So from now on, we're building the smaller sets that are from it. But let's see how much fun Noah has with this drill truck, guys. All right, Bubba, it's all yours. You do whatever you want with that thing. You want to drive it around? You drive it around. You want to take it apart? You take it apart. Just have at it. It's all yours. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Go, go, go! No, no.
I want to take it apart and build.
Guys, I'm crying right now.
What'd you say?
I know. I said do whatever you want, and he did whatever he wanted. I want to take it apart and build a helicopter. That's the words right out of his mouth. What do you think of this? Guys, I have a sad face. Sad face. I have so much time in that drill truck. Anyways, I don't even know how to end this. I don't know how to end this, sweetheart.
He's devastated.
I don't know what to do. Transition, crossfade, screen wipe, insert happy music. All right, no, in all seriousness, it's not that bad. The most important thing is just whatever he wants to do. We had fun building it together, and we'll build something else. Abby's laughing at me. She's like, ah, Dad, you're funny. You're funny, Dad.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about exercising forgiveness.
Right, and the perfect example of exercising, well, maybe not the perfect example, but a great example of exercising forgiveness is what just happened with Noah and myself and the Lego drill truck.
Okay, I thought you were going to say what just happened with us.
Well, you know, we'll get into that later. But obviously this is a little bit silly, the drill truck incident where he broke it apart, you know. But we really did spend, I would say, like
A lot of time.
2 or 3 hours building that thing.
Oh.
It was pretty rough.
The pieces were so tiny, and there were so many of them.
Right. So when I saw him just break it apart instantly,
Oh.
that was a little rough. But that's what I told him. I was like, do whatever you want. It's yours now. And he wanted to tear it apart and build something else right away. However, it's a great segue into an area that God has been talking to you and I about recently.
Yeah.
And that is in the area of forgiving and overcoming offenses. The perfect playground, if you will, for learning to overcome offenses and forgive is within your own family, because these are the people that we interact with the most, and we have to learn how to forgive on a regular basis.
Yeah, you have like the highest relational equity with those that you live with.
Right. One thought that we've had recently is how exercising forgiveness is like exercising a muscle, and you can really relate it to being in shape and working out.
Yeah.
And this really hit us recently because
It's painful.
one of the areas we've been working on is trying to do regular fitness activities in our house.
Yeah.
So we're shooting for 3 times a week. Sometimes we only get 2, if we're honest. But recently we tried a new workout program, and we were so sore.
We pushed it to the next level. We're like, okay, we got this. It was a cardio workout. We alternate between kettlebell and cardio. And so this was a new cardio workout that was going to push us to the next level. And we're like, okay, we got this.
The next day we woke up and we felt like we couldn't walk.
Oh, I think for me it was like the next 2 days. I was trying to pick up stuff around the house, and I tried filming another like cleaning episode, and I told Ben, I'm like, I just can't. I look like an old lady.
Right.
It was painful.
And I was in pain too. So the principle with exercise is that when you don't exercise a particular muscle or muscle group, the first time when you're out of shape is the hardest, and it gets easier as time goes on when that muscle is used to being exercised. In the same time that this is going on, God had been dealing with you and I both on the area of forgiveness.
Right.
And you had read something, a quote that really struck home about how exercising forgiveness is like exercising a muscle. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so just the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. There are new offenses that come, maybe perhaps even greater offenses that come, that push you to that next level where like you get used to exercising this muscle at a certain level of forgiveness, but now like a new offense comes, a greater offense comes. You're being pushed to the next level in exercising forgiveness, and it is painful, but it's necessary in order to grow.
It is. And in any community, whether it's a family or a religious community or on and beyond, forgiveness is such an important principle. And we've talked a lot about on our Bible study sessions. You can check those out on our other YouTube channel, teachjesus.app. We've been talking about what Jesus taught about forgiveness and how important it is. So you can get a whole Bible study on this on our other page. But we've just been talking about it really in regards to our family lately and how important it is that we forgive one another on a daily basis. Guys, if I'm honest, Erica probably needs to forgive me several times a day. Like that's not even, I know I'm being funny, but I'm not. I'm really not. There's probably things that happen every day, multiple times a day, where she has to forgive me. That's the reality of being a family, right?
Yes, but it is a two-way street. It really is. Like, it goes both ways. He has to forgive me too.
Yeah.
Being stubborn and all that.
And even with our...
We'll say that another time.
Yeah. But that's the thing about it, is that when you're not in practice regularly forgiving, it actually becomes harder because those offenses start weighing on you. Those muscles become just out of shape and cranky when you try to use them.
What actually happens with the muscles when you exercise is the muscles are almost being broken down. If I understand it correctly, the muscles are almost being broken down in order to be rebuilt up, right?
Yeah, that's
and
a
to
good
be
point.
built
That's my
stronger.
understanding. I mean, I'm no health expert, but that's my understanding
that's
of how
what
it
I've
works too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard in times past.
Wow.
So like the same thing happens with us. If we start building calluses in our heart of stubbornness, and we're like, no, I apologized last time. I'm not gonna apologize.
Really, the resistance to forgiveness is because I think how humble it makes us, and we have to let go that we sometimes get so attached to the feeling of we're right, and we like that feeling, and we don't want to let go of it. It's like we're guarding it like it's our tower. Like, this is my tower of rightness, and if you try to attack my tower of rightness, I'm going to throw cannonballs at you.
Well, and that's like the condition of humanity. We it's a position of power, and that's like our default as humanity. Like, we want to be right. All of us want to be right, and to prove something. But I was told this years back, one of the most challenging and difficult places to be is to be right, because that's like, if you're not humble and you don't treat that rightness correctly, that will be your downfall in the end. Like, pride comes before the fall.
Right.
So, and just in my brain,
Yeah.
it ties perfectly in with overcoming offenses.
That's a good point. The most dangerous place to be in dealing with an offense is being in the position of feeling like you were right. And it's not, it's whether or not you're right is regardless. You might be right, you might be wrong, but so what? You know, that's that's a question we need to ask ourselves next time. I think I'm right. So what? So you're right. How is that helping the situation? If you cling to that position of feeling like you have to be right, I'm just talking to myself. Can I talk to myself for a little bit? If you cling to that position of feeling like you have to be right, then there's not going to be resolution. So sometimes just acknowledging, maybe I feel like I'm right, but you know what? That's just my feeling. Yeah. And I still have to go out and apologize, or I still have to go out and forgive. I still have to be willing to come down from my tower of rightness. I'm just going with that analogy here, my tower of rightness.
Right.
Here's my tower of rightness. I'm going to build it higher.
Oh boy.
Don't fight me. I'm in my tower of rightness. I'll throw cannonballs at you.
Let's see if we can put this back now correctly. No, just kidding.
Right.
It's the tower of rightness. That brings me back to the scripture came to mind. All of our righteousness is as filthy rags. So that just brings us back around to, like, when, as much as we think we are right, like our rightness, our righteousness is nothing compared to Jesus. We'll
put that scripture on there. But yeah, it's our attempts at righteousness, our attempts to make ourselves right. Yeah. When the Lord looks at us, it's like, in his sight, it's just like filthy rags, because he knows none of us are righteous. It's not like the Lord's being mean, like it's just it's the truth. It's the simple truth. Our attempts at righteousness fall so short of the true righteousness of God, because our attempts at righteousness are just motivated in reality a lot of times in our own selfish desires. Right. We've all sinned and come short of God's glory. So we have been talking about in our family, first of all, the need to forgive. It's a constant need. I think this is an area where God has also been working on me, as we'll go back to the drill truck. Yeah, of course, forgiving our kids, of course, that's obvious. But also, this is a sensitive area, but it's something that I believe in, asking our kids for forgiveness.
It's huge.
All right? Sometimes we feel like we're parents, you know, we have to be the authority figures. Yeah. We can never admit that we were wrong.
Look at me, you.
I think that sets this is a good talking point. I feel like that sets a very bad precedent and a very bad example for our children. I'll just give a more real life example that happened just today. We were sitting on the couch. Yeah. Noah was, I was feeding Abby. I had Abby in my hands. And Erica was sitting next to me, and Noah's climbing on the couch behind us on the back side of the couch, on the back side of the cushions. And I'm sitting there feeding Abby, trying to protect her, because now I'm afraid he's going to fall on us. And the thing is, we've told him many times, don't climb on the back of the couch. Yeah. But he just had this thing where he was looking for attention. He was also very tired. And I would say I got upset at him, maybe justifiably so, but I got really upset at him.
You were trying to protect Abby, like
I was trying to protect Abby, yes, and I raised my voice very loudly, and I said, "Noah, get off the couch." I'm keeping my voice down a little quieter than it was in real life because kids are sleeping.
They're napping.
But get off the couch, and I was concerned about Abby's safety, you know. But I was also upset because we told him so many times. Well. The poor kid, he started crying. And so, all right, bad dad, I'm going to go ahead and own it, acknowledge it.
We all do it.
But he started crying, and I said, Bubba, why are you sad? And he said, because you hurt my feelings. And there's just something about that, obviously, even if I was right, even if, I don't know, but hearing that phrase, you hurt my feelings, made me stop, take a breath, because he's really expressing to me, and that's something too, just allowing your kids the freedom to express. Yeah. So he said, you hurt my feelings because you yelled at me. And what was on my heart was saying, you know what, Bubba, I'm sorry. Now, we still had to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I said, Bubba, listen, the reason why I got upset was because, I told you so many times I was concerned for Abby's safety. So I need you to understand that. But I am very sorry that I hurt your feelings. And acknowledging that and being willing to apologize. And my son said, thanks. So that's just something that I'm working on, is apologizing even to our kids. Again, even sometimes when you're right. I had told, because his feelings are real.
Yeah.
Even if I'm right, the fact that he's feeling like his feelings have been hurt is also true.
We have to acknowledge their feelings, and I think that kind of idea gets a bad rap simply because we've all seen those kids who are allowed to express all of their feelings, but our job as parents is to let them express those feelings, but then guide them to, okay, you're feeling angry. I hear you're feeling angry. And we work on this oh my word, we have to work on it every day, and we don't get it right all the time. But I hear that you're angry. I hear you're frustrated, sad. This is how we should deal with it. And then that guides them, that allows them to express their opinions, their voice, and teach them how to do that, because they're going to have to one day do that. And somebody's going to teach them.
Right.
And it's supposed to start at the home.
I think the important thing is we talk about acknowledging feelings, but at the same time, as parents, we also need to let them know that your feelings don't override reality.
Yeah.
So, your feelings are hurt. Okay, I'm sorry. We need to talk this through. Maybe Daddy was too upset. Maybe, or even if I was completely in the right, I need to acknowledge that your feelings were hurt, and I can ask for forgiveness and tell you I'm sorry. But for them to say like, oh, just forget about the whole incident. Forget about the fact that you put your sister in danger. Forget about the fact that you were crawling on the couch and we told you 5. Your feelings now override all of that. That's also a mistake, because then that results in, the kids that you see.
In Target screaming.
Right, which are probably our kids sometimes, So there's this reality, but you all know who are viewing us. You know what we're talking about. Those kids that you're trying to avoid, your kids hopefully turning out to be. It's just, feelings are real. They need to be acknowledged, but feelings are also not the definition of what reality is, So working with that reality, I think, is where it's at, the balance between the two.
Yeah, giving that example of how to express emotion and how to forgive.
Yeah.
That's the key goal. It starts at home. We as parents are the ones that are supposed to teach it to our kids and pass it on to our kids.
Right.
So train up a child.
Parents, we are responsible first. We have to learn how to forgive in our personal lives. Just thinking about all the offenses that we go through in our communities, in our extended families, at our jobs, just first of all, exercising forgiveness so that we can be the example for our children.
Right.
We got to do the hard work. The kids don't know it yet. They're learning from us. So if we don't have it figured out,
they're blank slate.
What are we giving them to work with? They're going to have an uphill battle unlearning what we showed them in the home. So let's do the hard work now on ourselves, and then maybe we sit down with our family and say, hey, this is a talking point for this week. This is an area of growth for our family. We're going to work on exercising forgiveness and extending apologies, being willing to. It's always going to be a work in progress. We're not there yet all the way, I'm sure.
Start with the little things. Don't just, it's very ambitious to say, like, start with the largest offense, but you got to work your way up. Like, you can't run like a marathon unless you can jog around the block, so to speak. So
that's a good
start
point.
with the little things and work your way up.
Start with the little things. There's always going to be, real quickly too, there's always going to be offenses that come, even if you're in good shape.
Yeah.
There's always going to be those offenses that are hardest to deal with. There's going to be major issues that sometimes are going to take you time to forgive and overcome. Yeah. That's okay. You acknowledge that, and it's like a recovery. Now you got to rehab. But the thing is, you don't let that injury go untreated. The rehab's going to be painful, but you have to work towards forgiveness, even in a serious offense. You need to keep stretching that muscle out and making sure that even in the case of a more serious offense, you can start with the small things, get in good shape, practice forgiveness, be like Jesus, see our Bible study, but don't let the offense ride. Exercise forgiveness within your family. So join us on this journey. I hope this has been a blessing to you. We talk about our wholesome home.
Yeah.
This is our challenge. This is what it takes to have a wholesome home. You
Yeah.
have to have forgiveness if your home's going to be wholesome.
Yes.
Wholesome.
Wholesome.
Otherwise, it's going to be divided.
Broken. Yeah.
So that's all.
That's it. That's it.
The kids just woke up, so we're done.
I hope that was a good take.
Right.
And hopefully the screen is recording.
Yeah, so just join us for the rest of the journey on this episode, and we'll see what else we have in store.